and help them get back up when they've been knocked down. And that includes when they lose a job. We want to see if we're able to carry them through. And we've developed over the years a system of unemployment compensation. Especially in this last recession, it was used quite a bit. Pennsylvanians are people, though, who pride themselves in their own self-reliance. And our work ethic is something that I see some people who went on a trade mission with me know that I was sewing over in Germany and in France, the work ethic of the people of Pennsylvania. It's reflected in the productivity of our workers. And I'll tell you, it was one thing that in talking to the natural gas industry and trying to develop that industry all across Pennsylvania, and particularly in southwestern Pennsylvania, it was a huge selling point. Our workers are second to none. They value an honest day's work. They value taking care of their problems and making sure that things work to the benefit of the Commonwealth, to the state as a whole, not to the government, but to the people in the Commonwealth. Our unemployment compensation system, though, stopped working for their benefit. The trust fund had become insolvent and triggered an additional per-employee tax on companies. Because of that, it really slowed down hiring. As the cost of doing business escalated, companies had less to spend on new employees. And unfortunately, we ended up borrowing money from the federal government to pay that unemployment compensation costs. And that debt complicated the problem. It became really a downward spiral, holding back job creation and jeopardizing the benefits of our workers, of our jobless. People, I believe, want to work. That is why we constructed the unemployment compensation bridge, as a bridge, not as a dwelling. Workers have the means to sustain their families while finding a new place in the workforce. It's important to save this system from insolvency. Because our workers deserve nothing less than a system of unemployment insurance that will be there for them when they need it, we need to be there for the next worker as well. That is why today I'm going to sign this bill to pay our federal debt and make the unemployment compensation system solvent once again. The bill was developed with input, as I said, from both labor and management. One of the ways for us to cure our unemployment compensation is to grow jobs. And I want to say we are blessed to be in a position, I think, in the next few years to grow a number of jobs. You've heard me talk, and I'll answer questions on this. You've heard me talk about the natural gas fields of Pennsylvania and growing jobs in Pennsylvania. You've heard me talk about the facility that Shell was talking about, and how that would grow jobs in southwestern Pennsylvania, and how we want to return the jobs that we're losing with the refineries and grow those refineries, and building the shipyards of Philadelphia to build new ships and continue to grow jobs. That's how you cure unemployment compensation. You create jobs and not put people on unemployment. And thankfully, our numbers have been ticking down very, very slowly. And I'm just keeping my fingers crossed, Julia, that when the next report comes out, we'll continue to show a trend ticking down rather than what, unfortunately, the federal government has seen with the national numbers last month. As I said, this bill was developed in combination with labor and management, each side knowing that the other has an essential role to play in making our economy thrive. Their willingness to work together is a great example of how we do things here in Pennsylvania. We have a serious problem, we come together, and we fix it. I think the legislature is part of that spirit, because this bill passed overwhelmingly with votes from both parties. The technical aspects of the bill are fairly simple. We will issue bonds locked in at a low fixed interest rate and immediately repay our debt to the federal government. Eligibility has been adjusted to fit the current demands of our workers and to make sure the benefits are available to those who are fully participating in the workforce. The changes will save us $276 million annually while assuring benefits to workers in need of them. And I can tell you from the budget discussions we've had today, $276 million is going to be very helpful rather than paying it to the federal government for us to have in the budget. Most importantly, the bill protects our workers. while taking away a burden that has slowed job growth and investment. Unemployment compensation reform really equals jobs. It's that simple, and that's what I talk about all the time. It's creating jobs in Pennsylvania. It is little wonder that so many people from both parties came together to support this pro-worker, pro-jobs bill. It saves the system. I want to thank the members who sponsored the bill, especially Senator Gortner and Representative Ron Miller. I know it was a long haul, but you got there. And the chairs of the House and Labor Industry Committee, Representative Boyd, who sponsored the measure in the House, and although he's not here today, Representative Kelwer, the Democratic chair of Labor and Industry, showed that the legislative system can work and can work at its best. I also want to thank Representative Ryan McKenzie. He's in somewhat of a unique position, aren't you, Ryan? He holds the position of having assisted with drafting the initial stages of the proposal as he worked here at Labor and Industry. And then he left Labor and Industry, ran for office. Now he's had a chance to vote on the bill that he helped to draft. So I think that's a somewhat of an unusual position. I want to thank you all for coming out here today. And I want to thank all of you for working on this bill so hard and getting it as another issue that we were facing when we came into office completed. We move on, and we can continue to try and grow the jobs and grow the economy of Pennsylvania. Thank you all very much.